Welcome, everyone. What we're watching, episode 52. Joey back here alongside my co-host, TJ. How are you, my friend?
It feels good to be back, man. That music just put me back in the spot, Joe. I don't know if you saw me. Man, my neck was jerking something serious, bro. I felt that.
I started it, no lie. I started it and I thought I heard you. And I'm like, wait, it's supposed to mute both of our mics. That's how excited it was. It's like, we gotta have TJ in here just jamming out and chilling and all of that with the music and stuff. And of course, he freezes. So, folks, welcome back to We're Freezing here with episode 52. It's the end of September, but apparently it is cold enough to freeze everybody. So that's what's going on here. I'm going to wait a minute so that maybe we won't have to restart here. But if we do, then we do. It's been one of the there. We're back. Did you hear all of that?
I didn't hear any of it.
Man, I will say this. I freestyled something and I said, I hope I don't want to restart this. So no, I'm leaving all of this in. I said he was dancing and then look, you froze and it's like and it got quiet. Like now I can hear like the background noise that I know you're there, right? But it got deathly quiet. I'm like, oh, he's frozen. But it said maybe I said it's so cold. I said we're at the end of September, but it's getting cold. It's frozen here. I hope he comes back in so we don't have to restart. That's all right. We got it back. Yeah, we've been talking about. We've had crazy weeks. Things have been happening here, so of course that's the way it starts. But we are back.
Yes.
Went on a little hiatus, but that's fine. We've reached episode 52, and that means, folks, if you watch one episode a week, we'll take you through a year at this point.
A year.
Yes. You can't get
an entertaining year.
Yeah, you can't get that anywhere else.
No, you can't. What are you talking about?
Oh, I was thinking about this yesterday. All right, let's say we lived in the Sopranos universe and everybody's alive. Okay. You have to you have a beloved pet. All right, you have to go out of town for the week. You need to leave it with one character. Who are you leaving that pet with from the Sopranos universe?
Who am I leaving my pet with in Sopranos universe? Carmela.
I was thinking the same thing. Or Meta. Definitely not Christopher.
I meant to say. No, God, no. Christopher's going to sit on it. Like that. He Christopher does not have a good track.
No. Just and all of that, and he's frozen again. This is what has happened. He's frozen again. I don't know what is happening. Maybe it's on my end. But if it was on my end, then I would be frozen. Everything would be frozen, and it would say I had unstable internet. But it doesn't say I have unstable internet. It's just freezing up TJ. But I would say definitely not Christopher on my end. So I go in and is he back? He's back again, folks.
Yeah, so clearly you didn't hear any of my explanation. I said I went down the list of everybody and I ended, if not Meadow, maybe the neighbor, maybe Coos.
Oh, you know what? I get that. But I say, oh yeah, no, but the point I was definitely not Christopher. You're like, he like, I roll over on it. I'm so sorry, killed your animal. It was a Great Dane. How you roll over on a Great Dane?
He'll find a way to kill it.
He would find a way. He'll find a way. And we'd all end up back in that intervention circle again.
Which is not going to go well. Like that was the worst intervention ever. If you are watching this episode, if you are getting into what we're watching here, and you have someone in your life that you're thinking about doing an intervention with, go watch that episode of Sopranos and don't do anything you see in that episode.
Whatever they do, you do the exact opposite.
Do the exact opposite. You son of a bitch.
As I heard several months ago on another podcast, they were talking about wrestling. It gets to the point where it's like, let me tell you about you, okay? Let me tell you about you. And that's exactly what they're doing. But what we're talking about here today, we're finally, it took a while. We're going to break down season 1, or as they call it over the pond, series 1. They do what they call series, but they mean season of Sherlock. And I enjoy these because it's very short. You're like, hey, we're going to break down episodes 1 and 2, and I said, if you can watch 3, that's all of season 1 right here. So do you enjoy the shorter seasons, TJ?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not mad. I mean, now mind you, you have to be prepared to sit down for a jaunt. You know, like an episode is an hour and a half. So you got to be prepared to sit down for that, right? Like it's like be prepared to hit pause. You know, because they're not gonna, you know, it's not a 30-minute or a 45. But for 3 episodes, I can get into it. I can definitely get into it. Now, you let me know how you want to edit this. I think I'm going to add my phone on. I think my computer is what's giving us the connection issue. If I hop on my phone, we might not have as many jumbles.
Okay. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. I made a note. 641. Welcome back. And
how we doing? Yes,
we're back.
We're back. How am I coming in now? Am I good? Am I good for my close up?
You are fantastic, and it like there's no background noise now and all at all. You're dialed in. I enjoy it, and I enjoy you. I may keep that other part in there. You know what, folks? We're back. That's all that matters. We're here.
Sweet. If you like it, I love it.
So I'm the same way. Now I'll tell you this: I got during Prime days in July. I had a show I was watching on Prime. I had 8 episodes left, TJ, and they took it off of Prime. But they're like, if you want this, you can get it on this. Well, it's another service I had to pay for. And I'm like, doggone it, I just won't finish that show. How about that?
I'll stick it to you.
That sign doesn't mean anything to me. I can't read. But then, like the next day was Prime days, and they're like, "Hey, if you want that channel, we'll give it to you for 2 months for 99 cents a month." I said, "Well, I can watch 8 episodes in 2 months."
In 2 months, yeah.
Yeah. And then they say, "How about this other service? We'll give you that for 2 months as well." And I'm like, "For 99 cents." I said, "Well, let's do this." Click, click.
Oh, well, now y'all talking nasty.
Yeah, that's. They're like, we came to play, you know. So I've been watching a show I've been wanting to watch for a long time with Helen Mirren. It's called Prime Suspect. Now they did 7 what they call series of that, and most of the time it was just 2 episodes per series. But just like Sherlock, you're talking about an hour and a half, an hour and 40, an hour and 45. They're good episodes, but they're very dense. Like you can't do something else. It's like you got to watch it for the entire.
No, you got to pay attention.
And sometimes it drags. Like I was watching an episode the other day, and my wife came, and we were going to go to the dining hall to pick up something to eat. And so she texted me, "I'm here. I'm outside." I'm like, "Okay, I was ready." And I was looking at an episode, and there's a guy going, TJ, and he's bouncing the ball. I said, as soon as he exits the scene, I'm going. TJ, he bounced it between his legs. He stopped. He tied his shoe. He was making layups. There was no hoop. And all. He was taking time. But that's what these shows are. They're like, look, we don't have you for like 22 episodes, 45 minutes. Bing, bang, boom. That's not how we roll here. Because in England, TJ, if you have a TV, you automatically get charged a tax for that TV to watch it. That's how they pay for all of their stuff. So they don't have time or the money or the effort to do all this. So they're like, we're gonna give you 3 very powerful episodes. So that's what Sherlock came into. So let's break it down. Sherlock is a British mystery crime drama television series based on Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes detective stories. Created by Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss, the show starred Benedict Cumberbatch as Sherlock Holmes and Martin Freeman as Dr. John Watson. 13 episodes were produced with 4 3-part series airing from 2010 to 2017 and a special episode that aired on January 1st, 2016. The series is set in the present day in which it aired. Sherlock was produced by the BBC along with Hartswood Films, with Moffat, Gatiss, Sue Virtue, and Rebecca Eaton serving as executive producers. The series was supported by the American station WGBH-TV Boston for its PBS anthology series Masterpiece, where it also aired in the United States. The series was filmed primarily in Cardiff, North Gower Street in London, was used for exterior shots of Holmes and Watson's 221B Baker Street residence. Now there is actually a Baker Street in London, but they cannot film there. Do you know why?
It's got religious significance.
Well, to some people, it's got Sherlock Holmes significance. There's Sherlock Holmes references all over that street. And so
they won't let them.
So they can't, like, hey, Sherlock Holmes lives here. Well, why are they selling Sherlock Holmes t-shirts across the street? Like, they can't set it up there. So
Gotcha.
They do all that. Sherlock's first 3 series received praise for the quality of writing, acting, and directing. Though the final series had a mixed reception, the program has been nominated for numerous awards, including Emmys, BAFTAs, and a Golden Globe, winning several awards across a variety of categories prior to its final series. Sherlock depicts consulting detective Sherlock Holmes solving various mysteries in modern-day London. Holmes is assisted in his mystery solving by his flatmate, friend, and companion, Dr. John Watson, who has returned from military service in Afghanistan with the Royal Army Medical Corps. Although Metropolitan Police Service Detective Inspector Greg Lestrade and others are suspicious of Holmes at first, over time, his exceptional intellect and bold powers of observation persuade them of his value. TJ, what is your history with Sherlock Holmes?
I mean, growing up a pup in the 80s and 90s, I knew who Sherlock was. It's elementary, my dear Watson. It's elementary. I mean, that's the slogan. That's the phrase that pays. So but I never identified him as any one person. Now I'm looking at him, Dr. Strange, aka Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm like, oh snap, that's what's up. Like, okay, I'm seeing it. I'm looking. I'm like, Everett Ross. We got a Marvel hookup in here, man. Like, this is great. Like, you told me to watch it. I'm like, okay, I can understand why I'm supposed to watch this. Doctor Strange is a smart guy. I like smart television, Joey. Thanks for the suggestion. But then I'm like, I get Ross too? And then you go sprinkle some other Marvel characters in here as well? Yeah, man, we gotta chop this up.
In part through Watson's blog documenting their adventures, Holmes becomes a reluctant celebrity with the press reporting on his cases and eccentric personal life. Both ordinary people and the British government ask for his help. Although the series depicts a variety of crimes and perpetrators, Holmes's conflict with his archenemy Jim Moriarty is a recurring feature. Molly Hooper, a pathologist at Bart's Hospital, occasionally assists Holmes in his cases. Other recurring roles include Una Stubbs as Mrs. Hudson, Holmes and Watson's landlady, and series co-creator Mark Gatiss as Holmes's elder brother, Mycroft. So we start out with A Study in Pink. It's the first episode of Sherlock, first broadcast on BBC One and BBC HD on July 25th, 2010. It introduces the main characters and resolves a murder mystery. It's loosely based upon the first Sherlock Holmes novel, A Study in Scarlet. The episode was written by Stephen Moffat, who co-created the series. It was originally filmed as a 60-minute pilot for Sherlock, directed by Koki Giodrick, the BBC decided not to transmit the pilot, but instead commissioned a series of 3 90-minute episodes. The story was refilmed, this time directed by Paul McGuigan. John Watson, an army doctor injured in Afghanistan, meets Sherlock Holmes, who is looking for someone to share a flat at 221B Baker Street, owned by landlady Mrs. Hudson. He runs across his old friend.
Yes. Very quick run. He's in and he's out.
Sherlock Holmes fans are screaming at the screen right now. So, the police, led by Detective Inspector Lestrade, have been baffled by a series of deaths described as serial suicides. And Sherlock Holmes is quick to let everyone know via text message, wrong.
How he's doing that blows my mind, texting everybody, wrong.
Sherlock is invited to inspect the latest crime scene, that of a woman dressed exclusively in pink, who managed to claw the letters R-A-C-H-E into a floor before dying. Sherlock deduces that the word was Rachel and that the woman was from out of town. Observing that her luggage is not at the crime scene, he searches the neighborhood until he finds it discarded by the killer. The luggage tag reveals that her name to have been Jennifer Wilson and gives her phone number. With this information, Sherlock learns that Rachel was the name of Wilson's deceased daughter. Meanwhile, John is compelled to meet a man who claims to be Sherlock's arch enemy. And a lot of people are thinking, oh, this is Moriarty, right?
Right. Early on.
Right. The man offers him money to spy on Sherlock, but John refuses. The man also tells John that, contrary to what his therapist believes, John is not suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, but in fact misses being in combat. You know, damn his leg. That's what John says.
Right.
When John returns to Baker Street, Sherlock asks him to text Wilson's still missing phone, hoping the murderer will make a move. Sherlock presumes that Wilson planted her phone on the killer so that he could be traced by GPS, correctly assuming that Rachel was her password. He initiates such a search through her online account and finds the signal at 221B Baker Street. Sherlock finds a taxi waiting for him on the street, and the cabbie confesses to the murder but claims he merely speaks to his victims and they kill themselves.
So, bro, that whole build-up right there was so chaotic, right? Because he's going through the motions of trying to figure out what's going on. They doing the GPS. Miss Hudson is like, Sherlock, there's a cab. I ain't ordered no cab.
Right.
Send them away. Okay. She happy. Please as punch to go. She runs, tries to send him away, comes back. Sherlock, the cab. Send him away. I ain't ordered no cab. And then you see the guy come up the stairs as they realize that the address matches. And Sherlock says nothing. This is when I lean in and yell at the TV screen. Say something, Jonathan.
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 The cabbie challenges Sherlock to play his game and drives him to a secluded location. Once there, he reveals 2 bottles, each containing an identical looking pill. One is harmless, the other is poison. To play the game, he invites his victim to choose one, promising he will swallow the other, and he threatens to shoot them if they refuse.
Right.
Sherlock soon deduces that the driver is an estranged father who was told 3 years earlier he was dying. The driver admits that he has a sponsor for his work, receiving money for his children for each murder. Sherlock, having noticed that the gun is a novelty cigarette lighter, attempts to leave. However, the driver re-challenges him to choose a pill and see if he can beat the cabbie at the game. Meanwhile, John has traced the GPS signal from the phone and followed the two men. He shoots the driver through a window in the adjacent building before Sherlock can swallow the pill he has chosen.
So, swearing up and down that he was never gonna do.
Sherlock demands that the cabbie reveal whether he chose the safe pill in the name of his sponsor. Now, before this, TJ, and since, I have never known somebody to yell out the name the way this guy yells the name out. The cabbie only yells out, Moriarty, before dying.
Moriarty!
I'm like, was it hard for him to say? Is he in the, in the throes of pain and death? And who is he staring at?
It was his death rattle. Because that death that right before you go, that was his death rattle. Moriarty! That was it.
The police arrive and Sherlock deduces that the shooter is John, but hides the truth from the police. Sherlock and John leave the scene, encountering Sherlock's enigmatic archenemy, who is revealed to be Sherlock's elder brother, Mycroft, who works for the British government.
It's him. There you go.
Hope you took him up on his offer. We could use the money. I'll split it with you. Hey, TJ, if somebody ever approaches you to spy on me, take the money, split it with me.
Okay. You ain't got to tell me twice. I will text you. Look, if I text you 2 eyes and a peace sign, you know what it means.
Now I'm like, I wonder who's spying on me. TJ, spy on the spy. I'll hand you back half of what you handed me.
I got you.
Then tell them that I have sent you to spy on them, and you'll tell me exactly what they want me to know if you give them more money. Then you send that half of that back to me. So you're just making money on money on money.
Until I die, because I feel like I'm going to mess up somewhere. I feel like somewhere I'm going to drop the ball.
John discovers that Mycroft tried to bribe him out of a genuine concern for Sherlock. Mycroft instructs his assistant to increase their surveillance status. According to Moffat and Gaddis, the BBC liked the pilot so much they ordered 3 90-minute films. However, a pilot version of A Study in Pink had been produced as a 60-minute film. The producers felt they could not simply add another half an hour to the episode. They had to film it again. Producer Sue Vertu adds that the additional footage to increase the length would have not matched because a different director of photography and a superior camera were used when filming the series. So it's like you have a grainy thing and then a high def like image, and that
Oh snap! That's vibrant.
A Study in Pink was first broadcast on BBC One on July 25th, 2010. Overnight viewing figures showed that the episode was watched by a total of 7.5 million viewers on BBC One and BBC HD. Final viewing figures were up to 9.23 million viewers and averaged a 28.5% share of the UK audience with a high AI rating of 87. The episode was downloaded 1.403 million times on BBC's online iPlayer, the third most requested program of 2010. Because they require people who have a TV, you have to prove that you're not watching TV if you have a TV.
Gotcha.
You bring them in, you're like, I only keep this for DVDs. I don't watch TV on it. Then they won't charge you. But otherwise, because of that, everyone has access to the BBC online iPlayer, which is like a huge DVR that has all of their programs on it.
Got you. Yeah. Okay.
The episode won a Peabody Award in 2010 for bringing the beloved Victorian sleuth into the high-tech present while remaining faithful to his creator's original conception. The AV Club reviewer John Teddy gave A Study in Pink a grade of B, feeling that the modern-day upgrades were too forced and that the resolution was overwrought. However, he praised the show for being bold and Freeman for being eminently watchable though the more youthful take on Holmes infected the performances at times. Den of Geeks selected A Study in Pink as one of the best TV episodes of 2010, describing it as a masterclass in how to write an opening episode.
What's wrong? I'd have a hard time being Sherlock's friend, but I recognize that with most of the I don't know if that's how they play them or if that's really how these overly smart people are in real life, and maybe I'm not hanging around the brainiacs like that, but like the Sheldons and now the Sherlock Holmeses, these cats, man, I don't know, man. I want to open hand slap them in the face. And I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
even a violent person like that. But like the way they talk to people, I have a hard time, bro. Like, bro, like you don't have everything figured out. But why are you talking to everybody else like they're stupid? Like that would wear on me hard, man. Like hard.
At the same time, though, he does explain that he's a high functioning sociopath. He's not a psychopath.
I get it.
He doesn't have regard for others' feelings. He knows that other people have feelings.
And that's why I'm saying I don't know that it would be a good idea for me to hang out with this cat.
Right. So this is what I say to you, TJ. All right. Let's say that you make your mind into a tray, a TV tray. Okay.
Right.
Take that high functioning sociopath and don't clear it off the tray, but it doesn't need to be centered. Put it like over here in the corner and just remember it for later. That's what I'm going to say to you. Okay.
All right. All right.
All right. So let's go to The Blind Banker.
Yeah. Good episode.
The second episode of the television series Sherlock, first broadcast on BBC One in HD on August 1st, 2010, written by Stephen Thompson, directed by Euros Lynn. It attracted 8.7 million viewers on BBC One and BBC HD. Critical reception was generally positive, although some reviewers felt it was inferior to the first episode. The episode was also criticized for its Orientalist cliches.
Okay.
At the National Antiquities Museum, Chinese pottery expert Sulin Yao sees something frightening and disappears. Meanwhile, Sherlock takes John to a high-powered international finance house. There, Sebastian Wilkes, an old university acquaintance of Sherlock's, asks for help. A break-in occurred in which a seemingly meaningless pair of symbols were spray-painted onto a portrait of a banker. Sherlock realizes it was a message meant for one man, Edward Van Koon of the Hong Kong desk, who has not come to work. Sherlock breaks into Van Koon's locked flat and finds him dead. The police, under Detective Inspector Dimmock, regard it as a suicide. Here we go again with the suicides.
Right.
Though Sherlock sees it as murder. Soon, journalist Brian Lucas is killed inside his locked flat. Sherlock and John investigate in the library where Lucas has been. They find the same mysterious symbols painted on a shelf. So what were you thinking at this point? What's up with that spray paint?
What's up with that? Why are graffiti? Why is Banksy running around killing people?
Oh, you know what? That would have been the perfect, cross pollinated tie-in. But you don't want Banksy involved in this shenanigans. I think they offered it to him, and he goes, "I'm busy." Would you look at the time? John, seeking financial security, obtains a job as locum at a local surgery run by Dr. Sarah Sawyer. Later, Sherlock and John discover a link between the two men. Both had just returned from China, and both went to an Oriental curio shop, the Lucky Cat. There, Holmes learns that the symbols are ancient Chinese Hangzhou numerals, correctly Suzhou numerals. Sherlock notices that Sulin's flat is empty and snoops around where he finds an intruder. A brief fight ensues, but the attacker flees. At the museum, they then discover the same symbols on a statue. Then, with the help of graffiti artist Raz, Sherlock
Right.
and John find more symbols graffitied on the wall and struggle to decode the message. Now, let me say this. All right. I also, I'm like an old man at heart. I also enjoy the show, the Andy Griffith Show. And there's an early episode where Barney comes in mad because he caught Opie with a piece of chalk outside of a brick wall that had something disparaging written about Barney.
Right.
And Andy said, I know Opie couldn't do it. And he's like, come on, Andy, I know he's your son. He goes, well, first of all, Opie wouldn't lie to me. And second of all, Opie's too young to read. I felt like that here, where they're just doing it. All of a sudden, John gets the, the paint and everybody else runs.
That would have been me though, bro. I'm not running. I know
Oh,
I
no.
didn't do it.
Yeah.
I'm not running.
Little known fact, ladies and gentlemen, TJ is the originator of the phrase, my name is Bennett and I ain't in it.
I ain't in it, baby.
Sherlock and John find more symbols graffitied on a wall and struggle to decode the message. Back at the museum, Holmes surprises Su Lin in hiding, who explains the code is linked to the criminal ring Black Lotus Tong, of which she was once a member. Unfortunately, before she can fully decode the message, she is killed by her brother, another criminal gang member. That's just low down right there.
Low down. R.I.P. Seriously.
Sherlock realizes
Did you make that connection, Joey?
I did not.
Seriously, from the Eternals, bro.
Okay. You know what? Just we're all up in the MCU.
All up in it. All up in it.
Sherlock realizes Van Koon and Lucas were members of the Tong involved in smuggling valuable antiquities to sell in London. They were killed because one of them stole something. Sherlock knows the message is in the form of a book cipher, and he and John spend the night going through the first two victims' books, trying to find the solution. John's first day at work does not go well, but Sarah covers for him, and they organize to go out on a date. It doesn't go well because he's asleep.
Yep.
Sherlock arranges tickets to a traveling Chinese circus. While John and Sarah enjoy the classical escapology and acrobatic acts, Sherlock snoops around backstage and is attacked. But with Sarah and John's help, the three escape. While Sherlock continues to search for the solution to the book cipher, John and Sarah are kidnapped. John is mistaken for Sherlock by the villains, who want him to reveal the location of the missing treasure in return for Sarah's life.
Isn't it a coincidence how they mistake Watson for Sherlock? I mean, it's like, it would seem though as though that entire day was meant to plant John as Sherlock.
Right.
From the credit card to him standing outside of the loft to him getting those circus tickets.
Fortunately, Sherlock cracks the code using an A to Z London Street Atlas guide and rescues John and Sarah. He also realizes the elusive treasure has been in plain sight all the time. A jade hairpin belonging to the Chinese royal family, worn by Van Koon's secretary / mistress, Amanda, who had received it as a gift from Van Koon. Hiding in plain sight, I think is what they call it.
She pissed. She pissed. She found out and lost it, bro. That was it.
See, this is one of those times where they're like secretary / mistress. And I'm like, hold on here. Hold on. I'm upset. I'm mad. I got to give up this gift and all that. But why are you putting my business out there in front of everybody?
For everybody.
You couldn't stop and say, gift for his secretary because she's good at her job? No.
And let's be straight up about something like that though. Does she get that money? Because I mean, let's be real about something now. He gave it to her, right?
Yeah.
She ain't done nothing wrong.
She ain't done nothing wrong. No.
So she should get a finder's fee. Now, and I'm just saying, I know for sake of argument, I know she didn't get nothing.
Right.
But for y'all out there who are lonely secretaries, who are worried about your business getting thrown out in the streets for you being mistresses, make sure you get a finder's fee.
Absolutely. Look, I'll go on a real quick tangent. All right. The first year I was here, I've told this story before. They had two men down the street at the local jail escape. All right. They had
I remember that.
they had a reward. All right. First one gets almost to Mexico. They get him. A week passes. I get a call from my RA. She was out walking her new puppy, and the man came up mumbling something from the woods, and she was scared. She didn't know what he was talking about. She called the cops, then she called me. While she was on the phone with me, the man pulled the fire alarm, so because he knew that the police were going to come. All right. Now there was a reward out for that. They didn't want to give that girl the reward because they said he gave himself up. And I said, "Oh no.
First.
I said she called LUPD or the police department before he pulled that thing down. She ended up getting something. They didn't give her all of it. I was so upset. I'm like, she need every single penny of that money because she called and said that thing for that man before he pulled. One does not. She ended up getting something, but she didn't get everything. That's the way that they always do.
Don't put up a reward if you're not gonna give it, Samuel.
Oh, I can't believe he called old Samuel out. But you know what? A lot of times it ain't even Samuel. Like Samuel don't want to give it up, but it's like Edward on Samuel's behalf. I'm like, Edward, you ain't gonna get the money anyway. And they're like, it's the principal of the thing. I don't care if it's the superintendent of the thing. You are not in charge. You don't. If you don't want to give a reward,
don't say it.
Don't offer the reward.
That's it.
However, Shan, the Black Lotus Tongue's leader, escapes and contacts a person via online chat identified only by the initial M, who would help the gang get a foothold in London. The episode ends a moment before a sniper shoots Shan after M tights that Shan will not fail again. So now we've got this mysterious person. And folks, spoiler, it's our old buddy Moriarty.
Moriarty. What are you talking about?
That's what this show needed. Now she had been in her grave for 9 years at this point. But if they came up, I'm like, this is the best show ever. They should show it on repeat every single day. Be number one, wouldn't it? I'd watch it. I'd watch it. Like, we've seen this hundreds of times. My part is coming up. All right. Don't mess with my story. Don't mess with my story. The Blind Banker aired on August 1st, 2010. Overnight figures showed the episode had been watched by 6.442 million viewers on BBC One, a 25.6 audience share, while 210,000 watched on BBC HD an hour later. Final consolidated figures rose to 8.07 million, with both BBC One and BBC HD taken into account. The episode received mixed to positive reviews from television critics. Sam Wollaston of The Guardian thought that The Blind Banker was better than the series opener, calling the plot more satisfying, clear, and more self-contained. IGN's Chris Tilley rated the episode 7 out of 10, describing it as a lackluster effort that fails to do justice to that smart and sophisticated start. He praised Lynn's directing and the character developments, especially of Watson, but Lestrade did not appear, and the plot fails to fully engage, the story feeling like 60 minutes of material dragged out over 90 minutes.
Oh, snap. They don't hold back.
I will say this. Of these three, this is number 3 for me.
Okay, so The Blind Banker hits last for you?
Yes.
I feel that.
All right. The Great Game is the third and final episode of the first series of television show Sherlock, first broadcast on BBC One and BBC HD on August 8th, 2010, written by Mark Gatiss and directed by Paul McGuigan. Sherlock Holmes is bored without stimulated cases. Mycroft Holmes urges Sherlock to investigate the death of Secret Intelligence Service clerk Andrew West. and the disappearance of a flash drive containing missile plans. Sherlock refuses and is called to Scotland Yard, where Lestrade hands him an envelope containing a mobile phone matching the victims from a study in pink. The phone shows a photo of a derelict room, which Sherlock recognizes as the unoccupied flat 221C, downstairs from 221B.
Right.
Sherlock, Watson, and Lestrade enter the room and find a pair of trainers in the middle of the floor. Those are sneakers.
Sneakers.
Yeah.
Some felines.
The mobile rings, and the caller, a frightened hostage reading text from her captor, states that if Sherlock cannot solve the puzzle in 12 hours, a bomb will kill her. Sherlock realizes the trainers belong to Carl Powers, a schoolboy who reportedly drowned in a swimming pool 20 years previously. Detailed examination reveals evidence that botulinum toxin was introduced into the boy's eczema medication. Sherlock announces the solution to the bomber, and the hostage is freed. A second message shows a blood-stained sports car, and another hostage phone's giving Sherlock 8 hours to solve this mystery. So they're going down in time.
Yeah.
Finding the vehicle without its driver, Sherlock interviews the missing man's wife and the manager of the agency where the car had been rented. After finding that the blood in the car had been frozen, Sherlock announces that the missing man paid the agency owner to help him disappear, and the hostage is freed.
He was an itchy man.
A third message and hostage point Sherlock to the recent death of TV presenter Connie Prince, who allegedly died from tetanus. In another book that I read, small tangent here, a kid goes, "What's tetanus?" Watson interviews Prince's brother, Kenny. Oh, Kenny.
Oh, Kenny.
And Sherlock shows that housekeeper Raul de Santos, Kenny's lover, murdered Connie by increasing the dosage of her Botox injection.
Is that a safe term? Houseboy?
I'm in the wrong business to answer that question.
They throw it around.
Oh, they do. They do.
They throw it around like Chippy. I'm learning things. I'm learning things about what they mean when they say things. Like I know what a chippy is now. I didn't know what a chippy was before, but I know what a chippy is now.
Folks, do yourself a favor. You can look up what they call cigarettes, but do not, for any reason whatsoever, repeat that. Okay? Just you got to switch.
Look up Chippy.
Look up Chippy.
Houseboy.
Despite Sherlock solving the puzzle, the hostage is killed along with several others for describing the kidnapper's voice. The fourth message is a photograph of the River Thames but no hostage calls. Sherlock and the police discover security guard Alex Woodbridge's body on the riverbank. Sherlock claims that Woodbridge was strangled by an assassin called the Golem. He also deduces that Woodbridge worked at a local art gallery that is preparing to display an allegedly lost Johann Vermeer painting. Watson visits Woodbridge's flat and finds that he was interested in astronomy, but not art. Sherlock deduces that the Vermeer painting is a forgery and that Woodbridge's discovery of it was why he was killed. The hostage calls and Sherlock gives his answer, but the hostage, a child, begins counting down. This is where it jacks up the suspense. Yeah. Sherlock, realizing he must prove it, spots a supernova in the painting that actually appeared 200 years after Vermeer, thus saving the child. The museum curator confesses setting up the forgery and ousts her accomplice, a man named
Moriarty.
Watson investigates West's death, and he and Sherlock track down Joe Harrison, the brother of West's fiance, who admits to stealing the flash drive and accidentally killing West in an argument. Unable to sell it, Harrison kept the drive and gives it to Sherlock, realizing that West's death and the missing flash drive were the fifth mystery. Sherlock texts the bomber offering to turn over the device. But at the meeting place, it is Watson who arrives at the fifth hostage wearing an explosive vest. Now, I'll say this. Before he opens up that thing, I'm like, was Watson Moriarty all the time? Because that's the way I thought. I'm like,
Right.
That's a
No.
twist.
That's a twist.
Moriarty, who'd been seen earlier as Molly's new boyfriend, Jim, who was giving off, as it turned out, fake, but giving off gay vibes. Yeah.
Right.
Appears and introduces himself as a specialist, just like you. He's a consulting criminal.
That's it.
After taunting and threatening Sherlock, Moriarty leaves, but then returns. He can't let you live, is what he tells him. After Sherlock removes Watson's vest, with multiple snipers aiming at Sherlock and Watson, Sherlock aims his handgun at the explosive vest, intending mutual assured destruction. And that's where it ends. Now, how would you like to wait 2 years before you get the answer?
And so that's what they did?
It was at least a year. Like, it wasn't a few months. It was at least a year.
Man, I'm glad that I don't have to. Like, legit. I'm glad that I don't have to. I would have been hot to see that and then realize it's 18 months before I get a resolution.
So that was August 8th, 2010. And the next episode comes on January 1st, 2012. So you got like 15 months.
Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, everybody's trying to do it now.
Stranger Things, them kids supposed to be teenagers. I think, one of them became older than me in between seasons.
That's what I'm saying, man. One of those kids is trying to file for Social Security, man. That's what I'm saying. Got whiskers now, bro. Beard thicker than mine.
But dude, I'm telling you this. I'm going to WrestleCade in Winston-Salem the 29th, that Saturday after Thanksgiving. I'm coming home from that. It's my wife's birthday. We're going to throw on some Stranger Things because part 1 comes out of that final season Thanksgiving weekend.
That's what's up. I'm behind. I have Netflix because it's included in my phone plan. I should get caught up.
You should start now. Start at the beginning because, like, dude, you don't remember half of that stuff, man. You're like, who's Will Byers? Where's Joyce? What's this guy? What's the go-go? Yeah.
Hey, where's the Beetlejuice girl at? I know she's in here somewhere. That's all I know. And in Red Guardian in here. Where's the Red Guardian? I speak in Marvel.
Who is that?
The Red Guardian?
No, like the voice, the accent that you're doing is somebody else.
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. I was just doing something. I have no idea.
It's part like Bill Cosby, like stereotypical pudding pop into Jello with something.
Yeah.
It's something else. It's like you blended it.
I'm putting things together. You don't know quite what it is, but I'm putting a whole bunch of stuff.
See, now you're like leaning more into because
now that was more big.
Because I got in your head. I got in your head. That's all.
You did. It's fun.
All right. The Great Game was broadcast BBC One and BBC HD on August 8th. Overnight figures have been watched by 7.34 million on BBC One and BBC HD, a 31.3 audience share. Final viewing figures rose to 9.18 million. Critical reception was highly positive. Chris Tilley of IGN rated The Great Game a 9.5 out of 10, describing it as gripping from start to finish. John Teddy, writing for the AV Club, awarded the episode an A- and called it an extraordinarily dense 90 minutes. He further singled out Andrew Scott for praise, writing that his portrayal of Moriarty is a thrilling departure from earlier incarnations of the man. The Guardian's Sam Wollaston was optimistic for the program, describing it as smart, exciting, and just the right level of confusing, and described the great game as a mashup that totally works and an edge of the seat ride.
I'm with it.
So from here, we're going to go. We're going to be introduced to a scandal is going to rock us. A hound is going to be introduced, but Moriarty threads his way through until we have to deal with what we call this final problem. TJ.
Okay.
So,
I'm picking up what you're putting down, Joey.
Yes. So, and then you're like, where can we go from here, from where they leave us? But that'll be, but I'm thinking for next time, because it has been a while, that we need to peek back in and see what the Marvel universe, the MCU,
we are due,
is doing. And with that, we are looking at Iron Man 3.
Oh man.
And the one shot, All Hail the King.
Nice. Nice.
But so that is what is next. But in the meantime, and in the in-between time, TJ, go ahead and plug in everything that you have.
Yes. Yes. I can't get enough of that one. The ticker says it all. Apparently, I'm an actor, and I'm working with this guy to my left. So, if you want more from me, continue to follow him, and you will always know what I got going on. More voice over work coming. So excited for that, man. I'm gonna be a camel, so that's gonna be exciting, man. Yeah, we'll talk more about that off air, bro. Keep it coming. Y'all keep shining, man. Stay blessed. Baby Kangaroo Media, Bathtub Baristas, um, Cut the Check. Um, I guess Who Shot John? That's a new one coming in 2026. It's brand new show from TJ. You don't even know it. You don't even know about it. Who Shot John in 2026? Keep your eyes open.
I'm going to keep my eyes open. I don't know who. I guess I'll have to tune in to find out who shot John. They're like, who shot John? You got to find out. You got to find out.
Tune in to find out.
Yeah. So, patreon.com/Baby Kangaroo Media for bonus episodes of the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show, the Joey Harris Super Show with my friend TJ was on the latest episode of that.
That was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was tremendously fun. Mug Life monthly newsletter, all of that, just $5 a month. We've got over 50 pieces of content on there.
There's some movies on there.
Movies, trailers, life lessons, green rooms, all of that on there, just $5 a month. And this is what I say, folks, do me a favor. Go on patreon.com/Baby Kangaroo Media. You can sign up and become a patron for absolutely free. And you get all of my notes for the wrestling show. You get the Mug Life Monthly. You get the Mug Life episodes. At least one thing of every show has a free episode on there. So that's just a tease of everything. So you can join absolutely free. Join absolutely for free. But you want everything, it's just $5 a month. And this is what I said for the last Cup of Joe wrestling show on Patreon with Tyler. And so I'm saying it here. Try us for 1 month. Put down $5. You can download everything at that time. If you don't like it, you can cancel at that time. No hard feelings. We'll part as friends, and you still get to keep everything that you did. But I think you'll enjoy it, and you'll come back for more stuff. Just $5 a month. That's a great deal to me.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, Joey. I told you, baby.
Yeah. So we'll be back sooner than you think. So we had a little hiatus, but that's all right. Things were busy. But now we've got 52 episodes, and so you can watch one a week until we come back. We'll be back before you get done. So for TJ, I'm Joy. Make sure that you subscribe over there. Subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the bell. You'll always be notified every time we drop an episode. So that's all you have to do. For TJ, I'm Joy, saying we will talk to you all next time.